The Duke of Sussex returned to London for a preliminary hearing in his case against the publishers of the Daily Mail but is not thought to have met with any of his family. Prince Harry was pictured at the Royal Courts of Justice in central London on Thursday for a preliminary hearing in his case brought against Associated Newspapers Limited, (ANL), for unlawful information gathering, which the publisher denies. The Duke of Sussex is one of several high-profile figures bringing the case against ANL, which publishes the Daily Mail and Mail on Sunday, with Harry giving a witness statement in which he claimed journalists using methods such as phone hacking were criminals. His appearance came on the same day his father King Charles III made a historic speech addressing the Bundestag in Germany on his first overseas state visit as monarch. Although Harry initially returned to the UK while his father was still in the country, the pair are understood not to have seen each other, with the king said to be too busy for a reunion. Now, a royal author has claimed the latest development in the rift between the Windsors is telling him that the monarch is indicating that there is no way back for his second son. Alexander Larman, author of The Windsors at War, discussed the Duke's visit on the latest episode of the Royally Us podcast. He said, "It seems clear to me that Harry has no interest whatsoever in reconciling with his family. Has got a new life now. It's a completely different life. There's no possibility that Has going to come back to Britain and lead any sort of normal life. He can't come back. I mean the fact that, while we're speaking, Has in Britain, at the High Court, but none of his family is seeing him and that's quite telling. Apparently, he tried to see King Charles but the monarch said he was too busy." When Harry made his surprise appearance to attend the High Court hearing earlier this week, whether he would make time to see his family became the subject of speculation. While his brother Prince William and his family are understood to be spending the Easter holidays away from home, Charles' planned visit to France had been cancelled, meaning some suggested he could have been free to welcome his son home. However, soon after it was claimed neither Charles nor William would be available to see the Duke of Sussex. Christopher Anderson, author of The King, claimed Charles is still furious with Harry for the bombshell accusations made in his memoir, Spare. He told Fox News, even if Harry did wish to reconcile ahead of the coronation, it's highly doubtful he'd get a warm reception. William appears to have thrown up his hands in disgust. Charles III is still furious over Harry's devastating portrayal of his wife, Camilla, as a villainous schemer in his bombshell memoir. Royal commentator Richard Fitzwilliams added, Harry isn't expected to see any of his family. The rift between the Sussexes and the royal family runs deep. The king is not in London and there are no plans for a meeting. William and Kate are away with their children for the Easter holidays. Similarly, royal author Ingrid Seward told The Mirror, any ordinary father would expect to see their son when he paid a rare visit to the UK from abroad. But Charles is not an ordinary father. He is king and as such has appointments every 20 minutes of his day. In between, he has letters to sign, state documents to read and meetings to attend. When the state visit to France was cancelled, his diary was immediately filled with urgent pending issues. Being king is not a part-time post. Neither is being a father, but Charles has little reason to want a confrontation with Harry after his disloyalty to his family in his book Spare. Maybe Harry had no desire to see his father either. She added, Charles and Camilla were due to be out of the country when he arrived in the UK. Harry would have never envisaged something as politically sensitive as a state visit being postponed. Harry is not quite as brave as he makes out he is. However much noise he might have made about wanting a discussion, being ushered into Clarence's house to meet with an irate and disappointed father was almost certainly not on his agenda. Buckingham Palace said the king was not in Windsor or London and would be leaving for a state visit to Germany on the morning of Wednesday, March 29. The king and queen consort Camilla arrived in Berlin for their 3-day trip, marking their first overseas state visit of Charles' reign. On Thursday, the king addressed the German parliament, becoming the first British monarch to do so. Speaking in both German and English, the king showed gratitude for the warm wishes he received after the death of his mother and predecessor, Queen Elizabeth II, and emphasized the bond between the two countries. He spoke of his pride at being in Berlin to renew the special bond of friendship between our two countries and said the connection between the UK and Germany meant so much to my beloved mother. The king also acknowledged the impact of the war in Ukraine and Germany's efforts to help with the humanitarian fallout of the conflict. He said, countless lives have been destroyed. Freedom and human dignity have been trampled in the most brutal way. The security of Europe has been threatened, together with our democratic values. Even as we abhor the appalling scenes of destruction, we can take heart from our unity, in defense of Ukraine, of peace and freedom. At the end of his speech, he received an overwhelming standing ovation from the German parliament which lasted nearly 2 minutes.